It's Western Conference time for the traveling Golden State Warriors today. Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin Harlan with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Happy to have you along for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Taking a look at Phoenix. It's been a tremendous beginning to the new season. They are now 5-1.
Well, right now for the Suns, they're completely different.
Oh, look out, man.
He has a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
Yeah,
wow.
That could very well be a contender for Dunk of the Year and perhaps might make its way all over the internet.
I'm with you, Clark. That's a crowd pleaser if I've ever seen one.
The three. Phoenix grabs the miss. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
They ran away with that game, Kevin, mostly thanks to their play at the offensive end.
That's exactly right, guys. There was crisp movement by the players and the ball throughout that game, and they got a lot of high-quality shots as a result.
Savage. That's the way to get some momentum on your side.
Absolutely. Those dunks can really have a deflating effect on the defense.
Especially coming from a guy out of the backcourt.
The shot by Anthony, no good.
Andre Iguodala got off to a hot start last season. He shot 45% from long range through the first 2 months of the season. But after a hamstring injury, his percentages and his aggressiveness all seem to tail off.
Thomas against Rose. Here's Morris. Spades trying to break loose. Morris, no good. Rose goes in. Gets to the rim for two with the D all over him. Rose has got his second basket of the night.
4 straight makes out the gate. That's a sweet start.
First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Here's Shumpert. Out of bounds. Phoenix will take possession. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, thanks. Golden State's head coach and I were able to chat. He said that their defensive focus, no surprise, will be trying to keep Derrick Rose out of the lane. He added, you know he's come a long way as an outside shooter, but he's a pick-your-poison type of player. We can't let him get into the paint. Makes sense, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. They set the pick. Here's Anthony. And again, no good by Golden State.
5 straight misses to start the game. I don't know if they're loose yet.
Outside Rose. He dishes it to Harden. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. 8 points for James Harden. Suns last season, back to being one of the better offensive teams in the NBA, Steve, after their uncharacteristic struggles 2 seasons ago.
Well, you remember under Steve Nash, they led the league in points per possession for 6 straight seasons from 2004 to 2010. Suns fans really accustomed to high-octane offense, that's for sure.
Rose kicks to Iguodala. Passes it to Harden. Clock at 6. Harden draws the double. The Suns need to get a shot off. Iguodala no good.
And you know, you talk about the Suns offense. When Steve Nash left, that first season was their worst offensive output since the ABA-NBA merger back in 1976, 38 years ago. They couldn't shoot threes, they didn't get to the line, and they turned it over. You know, they really didn't have much going for them, but it's amazing how quickly they've turned it all around.
And the basket by Harden.
Such a great start for him. 4 for 4 already. He could be on his way to a big game.
It certainly looks that way, Steve. His energy level has been terrific right from the opening tip.
Thomas kicks to Anthony. And Anthony gets double-teamed from 18 feet away, and the jumper falls for him. Anthony's got his first 2 points of the night.
Well, for the Suns last year, the second most three-pointers attempted in the league. They've got big men who can space the floor and then guards who can really attack. It's really a good recipe offensively.
8 feet away, and the nice bucket inside from Lopez.
Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
Now the story is points in the paint, Clark. I mean, they're getting point-blank shots every time down.
Rose against Thomas. Here's Spates. Rebound by the Suns. Rose has got his third rebound on the night. Iguodala with it, now guarded by Shumpert. Iguodala dishes to Lopez, and he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
I love the aggressiveness with their approach, pounding the ball inside, and it's working.
They are owning this game early. They are constantly finding lanes to the basket.
4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Anthony drawing the double team. Out to Shumpert. Out of bounds. Phoenix takes possession.
Where was he going with that pass? That's just an awful turnover.
We've got 13 seconds left to play in the first quarter. There's the pass to Wright. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Wright's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Here's Thomas. So as we end the first quarter, already a double-digit ball game. Suns lead by 19. 2K Sports. Back in a moment here from Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Phoenix.
Now, they didn't waste any time getting into a groove out there. They're dialed in from long range.
They also haven't been afraid to take it strong to the hoop early on tonight. I like that.
Chalmers is out there with George Hill. And there's Bismack Biyombo. And there's Thompson. And it's Wright in at the small forward position. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Suns.
DJ Augustine playing big minutes for the Bulls last season with Derrick Rose hurt. And I'll tell you what, he put up some big numbers at times. 27 points in back-to-back games.
This Warriors squad struggling. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Steve Kerr choosing to coach the Warriors. I've said this many times, said Kerr. This is the best fan base in the NBA. The 2007 clinching win over Dallas was the best atmosphere I've ever felt in my life. As a broadcaster, even as a player, I've never seen anything like that. Guys, he wanted to coach in that environment.
They're loud every night. Thank you, Doris. Pass to Hill. And he uses the glass on the layup.
They're taking so many shots down there, and they're knocking him down. Really good looks in the paint.
No doubt the offensive philosophy today, pound that thing inside.
Well, they're getting way too many easy shots in the paint. So this timeout is specifically for that reason. You got to tighten up the defense and start to make it harder for that offensive team.
I know it's easier said than done, but right now it just doesn't seem like the necessary effort is there.
And the Suns making a change here. Bellinelli's checked in. Shumpert is checked in for Golden State. And Chalmers kicks to Hill. To the wing right side. Bellinelli. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist.
Well, they played terrific basketball at both ends, and that's why this lead is totally out of control.
Really been an almost flawless game for him, Steve. No doubt about it.
On the wing, Shumpert. Will it go? Can't hit.
I'd love to see them impose their will a little bit more on the backcourt. Usually that's a great way to take control of a game.
Well, they haven't been able to do that yet, but it's something they're certainly capable of.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Kevin, during that last break, I heard the Warriors coach as he addressed his team. He told them to be looking to attack in the open floor. He doesn't want them getting slowed down in half-court sets. He wants the fast break to be a major weapon. He also asked for a very strong effort on the offensive glass. He wants to see them cashing in on a lot of second-chance opportunities. Being in the position they're in, probably a smart move to go to the clipboard and switch things up while we're still in the first half. Kevin?
Thanks, Doris. Phoenix has gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. And here's Hill for 3. That's good. Hill's got 5 points now in the quarter.
A lot of space out there in transition when you get that far away from the hoop.
Everyone knew that the Warriors were going to be a team on the rise after their deep run in 2013. Steve, you saw it firsthand, and they climbed to the ranks of the best in the West in 2014.
Well, they didn't end up where many had hoped, which would have been in the top 4 of the conference, but they were powerful at times and tough to stop. And in the West, you know, they still finished 6th. It just shows you the depth of the conference.
James Harden, he's checked in for Hill. And so it looks like the Suns will retain possession here. Courtesy of the 2K leaderboard, here's a peek at the league's top scorers from a season ago. Second, Carmelo Anthony. And, of course, James Harden.
Well, these two guys both were phenomenal last year, and either one would be a guy you want to make sure he gets the ball, especially late in a game that you want to win.
And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter.
You know, and to be fair to the Warriors, 6th in the West is still a pretty significant accomplishment when you consider how many really good teams are out there in the Western Conference. A 50-win season is great, but when it only gets you the 6th seed, that's the problem. Excellent ball movement there, guys.
Yeah, I think that's what's keyed this run, Clark, because they're keeping the ball moving. The defense hasn't been able to set up.
Here's Anthony. That's in. Augustine with the assist. Anthony's got his second basket of the game.
You know, it wouldn't be a bad idea to put an extra body on him, get some help when he barrels his way in close. He's such a good finisher. He needs more than one guy to defend him.
And for the Warriors, yes, they finished 6th in the West last year, but they can compete with anyone in the conference with their shooting. In fact, they hit about 40% of their threes against Western Conference teams last year. This has not at all been the kind of performance they've needed out of him.
And that's out of bounds. Phoenix will retain possession.
17 seconds on the shot clock. 17.
1:22 left to play here in the second quarter. And the basket by Chalmers.
Really good awareness right there on the assist.
Golden State's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
And yes, sir, that one drops.
He's definitely got that shot in his arsenal.
Last outing for Golden State, it was a loss to Houston.
Well, they were in foul trouble throughout that game, guys, and made things awfully hard on themselves as a result.
Yeah, it forced them to go much deeper into their rotation than they would have liked to, and that's always tough.
The shot by Bellinelli, no good. Now here is Augustine. Last time, 14 points for him. And so it looks like the Warriors will retain possession here. And the Suns here with a different look. Brook Lopez is checked in for Biyombo. Baca comes in for Jason Thompson. Andre Iguodala is checked in for Marco Bellinelli. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Mario Chalmers. The Warriors also with a sub. Thomas checked in for Augustine. Here's Anthony. And the Warriors miss again.
And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it.
Now the Warriors moving it up. Thomas is running. And he banks in the layup. Thomas got his first bucket of the night. Here is Rose. He has 6. Fires, high post. No one near Iguodala as he lets it go. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Here's Anthony. The shot no good. And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen.
What a performance from Harden here. 10 points, and he's hit the mark twice from three-point range as well.
Well, it's no secret. I mean, the more points he can come up with from out there, the better off they'll be offensively with their spacing.
And here comes Thomas, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. So for the Golden State Warriors right now, Markieff Morris is out there with Anthony. Then it's Thomas. Then there's Maurice Spates, and it's Shumpert in at the 2. And let's now go to the sideline and catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. Well, as you know, Isaiah Thomas has had to work his whole life. He's been overlooked at nearly every level, but just uses it to fuel his play. As Thomas said, I just play my heart out. That's how I've known how to play since day one. I've always been the smallest guy on the court every time I've been on it. It's no different. I just like to play hard. Guys, back to you.
Not the biggest guy, but boy, he is quick, Doris. I think that's one of his advantages.
Such a solid performance for